Hey everyone, it's Tara. Welcome back to my channel, Tara Talks Books, where we talk everything bookish. So today I have some recommendations for some clean romances. I'll start with the ones that have no steam, and then I'll go into like fade to black ones or closed door. So I'll start with the no steam category, and the first one is an Audible original called Seatmate by Tara Stone. This is like a romantic comedy, and it's kind of like novella length as well. Gwen and Sam are seatmates on a bus going from Boston to New York City. They start chatting and things progress through the bus ride. This was just such an adorable, laugh out loud, make you smile romantic comedy. So it has great banter, and then it has this road trip aspect to it because, again, they're on the bus. Definitely one to pick up, especially if you have Audible. The next one is a Christmas romance, and that one is The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. And this one follows identical twins, and one of the twins is in the big city, and she is on like a baking show where she's kind of like a judge, and she's kind of vying for a job on this show between her and like her co-host. She gets in an accident at the very beginning where she loses her sense of smell, and so she has to switch with her sister because she doesn't want to lose obviously the competition for the job. And so she switches with her twin who lives in their small town and runs like their family's bakery or their shop. And so it really is the best of both worlds because you get the big city Christmas vibes and then you get the small town Christmas vibes. And obviously, there are romances and they fall in love when they are not being themselves. So it was just so lovely. I love this one. It was such a fun read. And again, this one is a no steam romance. The next one I have is also an Audible original, and this one is Sweet Talk by Tara Stone. And so this one is a novella as well. So this one is a bit of like a secret identity. And so it starts off as like text. I think he accidentally like texts her in the middle of the night. And not for reasons that you think, but he accidentally texts her and then they start this conversation, but she doesn't want to let him know who she is because they do live in the same building together. She knows who he is, but he doesn't know who she is. And so that's where the secret identity kind of comes into place. But this one was very sweet and I really enjoyed it. It's a bit of like an opposites attract as well. So like the majority of their relationship is through texts that start off with like texts because they both find out like they're insomniacs and they can't sleep. So they'll text and then it turns into phone calls. And that's kind of how they begin this relationship. And they finally, obviously, she has to, tell him who she is. But again, this one was such a cute one and such a quick listen as well. Now I'm going to go into like my fade to black or closed door romances. The first one I have is The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. I love this one so much, but this one follows Hannah. So Hannah is a executive protection agent, also known as a bodyguard, and she is hired by Jack Stapleton, or her company is hired by Jack Stapleton, and she is his bodyguard. As he has recently, like, he's going home to his Texas town on like his family's ranch, and he needs someone to kind of be there to keep the paparazzi away because his mother is sick and he doesn't want her to have to deal with any extra stress, as well as he has been having a stalker recently. So she is kind of like hired to do that, but he doesn't want his family to know because he doesn't want to add, like I said, any more stress to the family because obviously his mom is sick. And so she has to fake date him or pretend to be his girlfriend because she has to be near him to protect him. So it goes from there. I just love this one so much. So Catherine Center really writes a book that has like some heart and some depth to it. I just loved it. It was a 5-star for me. It was one of my favorites of last year. And it's a clean romance. It's a fade to black. Next, I have The Comeback by Lily Chu, and this is another Audible original. And this one follows Ariadne, and she is like a very laser-focused lawyer who really just wants to like make it to the top and be like the best daughter that she can be for her family. And so she's very, like I said, career oriented. And then one day, she like shares an apartment. She has a roommate with like her best friend. Her best friend is out of town, and her best friend tells her cousin, Ji-hoon, who is from South Korea, that he can come stay at like their apartment in her, in their apartment while she's away. And so they have this kind of like funny meet cute because he's like in her apartment and her friend like forgot to tell her. So she's like, oh my goodness. Um, what's happening? There's this random person in my apartment. What's going on? So there's a bit of a kerfuffle at that point. And so it's kind of a fun, silly meet cute, which in real life would be kind of scary, but anyways. And then obviously she calls her friend. She's like, hey, like, who is this? And obviously it's her cousin. And so Ji-hoon is going through a breakup, and so he just needs some space. So him and Ariadne kind of build this like friendship, but there's obviously this attraction, this underlying attraction there as well. But Ji-hoon kind of has a secret. So she's kind of thrust into the world stage, into the spotlight, and wasn't obviously expecting it because of his secret. And you find out in the book what that is. So it's a sweet romance with a cute premise. The last one I have is another Catherine Center, and that one is the rom-commers. So this one follows Emma, and she has dreamed of being a screenwriter her entire life. However, she's also a full-time caregiver for her dad. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity comes along for her to help rewrite a rom-com script for like a famous screenwriter, but it's not just any screenwriter. It is Charlie Yates, who she has like idolized for years and loved like his work. However, Emma soon realizes it might be too good to be true, and Charlie doesn't want help with the rewrite of, as she calls it, his awful romantic comedy. So Charlie ends up changing his mind, though, and their journey to screenwriting and love begins. So this is such a feel-good story with like both emotional and lighthearted moments. I really enjoyed like this peek into the world of screenwriting that you get in this book, and Emma and Charlie perfectly complemented each other with their grumpy sunshine dynamic and fun banter. There's so many sweet scenes. So those are all the books that I have that are considered clean romance. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any or any of your suggestions. I'd love to hear from you. And if you just want to let me know that you were here and you watched, go ahead and leave me a soap emoji for clean romance. Like and subscribe if you'd like to. Bye!